The boy who could turn the stock market index with a single gesture on the banks of the Thames in London is now standing dusty on the hot, muddy streets of Dhaka. His name is Aryan Chowdhury. He is wearing a dirty check shirt with loose buttons, ripped jeans, and cheap sandals. His hair is rough from not having oiled it for a long time. No one would believe that this boy has a black card in his pocket and a Ferrari in his garage. Aryan has only one goal: to meet people. In the mechanical life of London, he has seen everyone worship his money, but he wants someone who will love him for who he is, so he has returned to his roots, to Bangladesh. Today, his destination is the VIP zone of the city's new state-of-the-art metro rail station. It is said that this special terminal is designed for the city's elite. The huge glass station is sparkling in the sunlight. Aryan slowly walked towards the entrance gate. The entrance was blocked. The large security guard in the blue uniform wrinkled his nose at his sight. "Hey, where are you going over there? Is this a place to beg?" The guard's voice was clear with contempt. Aryan said humbly, "Brother, I am not a beggar. I want to buy a ticket. I will go inside." The guard laughed contemptuously. "Will you cut the ticket? Do you know how much the ticket here costs? Even if you sell that sack of rotten clothes of yours, it won't be worth a single penny. Get out of here. All these little people come to ruin the environment." Aryan was unyielding. He said calmly, "I have money." He took out some crumpled notes from his pocket and showed them. The guard looked at him suspiciously for a moment and said, "If you go in and cause any trouble, I'll kick you out. Go." As soon as he entered, the cold air from the AC hit Aryan's body. The surroundings were like another world. His reflection was visible on the marble floor. The people there had a touch of nobility in their movements, clothing, and appearance. Some were wearing expensive suits and boots, talking about the stock market on their mobile phones, while others were walking around smelling of foreign perfumes. As Aryan made his way through the crowd towards the ticket counter, a group of young people walked past him. A little coffee from one of them spilled on Aryan. "Oh shit!" the girl screamed, as if her coffee had been defiled by falling on Aryan. "Are you blind? Can't you see and walk?" Before Aryan could say anything, a girl from the side said, holding a handkerchief to her nose, "Hey Rena, stop it. Don't you see the stench coming from her? I don't understand how these low-class people enter the metro. Is the security sleeping?" Aryan remained silent. He had deliberately not bathed the past 2 days, and he had smeared himself with the smell of cheap oil. He wanted to see this hatred, but in reality, he could feel in his bones how difficult it was to bear this humiliation. He went to stand in front of the ticket counter. The woman sitting at the counter was sitting very elegantly, with Bluetooth headphones in her ears. Aryan tapped the glass. "Ma'am, will there be a ticket?" The woman looked up once. Her expression changed when she saw Aryan's dirty face. She said in an annoyed tone, "There's no change here. If you have change, give it to me. Otherwise, don't block the line." "I have the spare." Aryan handed over the notes. The woman grabbed the money as if she were grabbing some dirty garbage. Wiping her hands with a tissue, she threw the ticket on the counter. As Aryan was about to take the ticket, he saw a gentleman standing behind him, annoyed, saying, "We have to complain to the management. The standard of the station is decreasing day by day. Will even the poor and the needy travel with us?" Aryan walked towards the waiting zone with his ticket in hand. There were beautiful sofas arranged for him to sit on, but as soon as he went to sit in a corner, an old man from the side scolded him. "Hey, boy, get out of here. Are you going to ruin the seat with your dirt? Stand in that corner." There were hundreds of people in the entire station, but Aryan felt very alone. His money, his prestige, all lay in London. Here, he was just a little guy. The poison arrows of humiliation pierced him. He stood with his back to the wall. He felt like getting out of here right now and revealing his true identity. He shouted, "I have the power to buy this entire station." But he didn't do that. He was patient because his test wasn't over, but he didn't know that an even terrible humiliation was waiting on his forehead today. The VIP lounge at the metro station suddenly fell into a pin-drop silence. Those who had been talking loudly about their stock market and luxury moments earlier all stared off in a daze. The sultry air was lifted, and the strong, intoxicating scent of expensive French perfume spread. As soon as the automatic glass doors of the station moved, a young woman entered. Her name was Raisa, the only daughter of one of the country's most influential business tycoons. Words will fall short when it comes to describing her appearance. Milky complexion, sharp nose, and big eyes with the charm of a doe. But instead of the charm in those eyes, there's a fierce fire of arrogance. She is wearing a designer dress worth crores of rupees, a diamond bracelet on her hand, and sunglasses from a famous brand on her eyes. Behind her, 4 well-built bodyguards walk like robots. Aryan was standing at the corner of the wall. As soon as he saw the girl, his heart sank. He had seen many beautiful women in London, had even dined with Hollywood heroines, but he had never seen such a combination of royal power and beauty before. The way the girl walked told him that she considered herself the queen of this world. Raisa didn't walk slowly towards the ticket counter. She walked straight towards the sofa in the middle of the VIP lounge. The station manager ran to her. "Ma'am, why did you bother coming? If you had just informed the car, we would have delivered the tickets." The manager's voice was flattering. Raisa took off her sunglasses and looked at him with contempt. "I came because I wanted to. Is the AC at your station not working? Why is it so hot?" The manager started to mumble. Just then, Raisa's eyes fell on Aryan, who was standing in the corner. Aryan was staring at Raisa with a single glance. His eyes were not blinking. He was so enthralled by Raisa's beauty that he forgot about his current situation. Raisa's eyebrows furrowed. She pointed at the bodyguard. "Who is this man? And why is he looking at me like that?" After being scolded by Raisa, a bodyguard stepped forward and punched Aryan in the chest. "You little guy, lower your eyes. How dare you look at madam?" Aryan, unable to handle the shock, fell to the floor, but strangely, instead of feeling pain, he smiled. His eyes were still on Raisa. This was the first time someone had disciplined him so forcefully. Aryan felt that he needed to play with this fire. Raisa got up from the sofa and slowly walked towards Aryan. Aryan was lying on the ground, and Raisa was standing in front of him. It seemed like a scene between the subjects and the queen. Raisa pressed a little on Aryan's finger with her high-heeled shoe. Aryan writhed in intense pain, but did not make a sound. "How dare street dogs like you enter the VIP lounge?" Raisa's voice was filled with icy hatred. She looked at the station manager. "Manager, what are these slum scum doing here? If you build a hangout for these little people in this project built with my father's money, I will take your job tomorrow," the manager said, trembling with fear. "Sorry, ma'am, I'm letting him out right now. Security!" Aryan tried to stand up. He wanted to say something. "Ma'am, I actually—" "Shut up!" Raisa shouted. "Your stench makes me want to vomit. You don't lack courage. You stand in front of me and talk?" Raisa opened the expensive water bottle in her hand. Everyone thought she would drink the water, but no. She threw the entire water on Aryan. "No, don't take a bath. Seeing fakirs like you makes my day worse." The entire station started laughing. Some started recording videos. Everyone was enjoying Aryan's wet face, his ears turning red from humiliation. But Aryan felt no humiliation. Even after taking a sip of water, he felt a strange intoxication as he looked at Raisa. This girl's arrogance was driving him crazy. He thought to himself, the sound of this pride being broken will be very sweet. This is the girl I want. I will make the one who treated me like an animal in front of everyone my queen. Raisa ordered the bodyguards, "Push him out by the neck and be careful. Don't let him come near me again." 2 large guards dragged Aryan by the collar towards the gate. Aryan did not resist. He just turned his head and looked at Raisa as he left. Raisa was wiping her hands with a tissue, as if she had touched something dirty. The guards threw Aryan onto the sidewalk outside the glass doors of the station. Aryan sat up, his body covered in dust and mud. A smile tugged at the corners of his lips. The passers-by thought he was crazy. Aryan pretended to take out his broken, cheap phone from his pocket, but actually pressed the hidden Bluetooth device. The call went to his personal assistant in London. "Hello, sir? Are you okay?" came a concerned voice from the other end. Aryan, brushing off the dust, said, "Ronnie, I'm fine, but I found my life partner." "Sir? In Bangladesh? Who is he?" Aryan looked at Raisa, who was dimly visible inside the station, and said, "I don't know her her name, but she's a ball of fire. I want her details. And listen, keep my private jet ready. I'll be back in London very soon, but not alone, with her. But sir, will he agree? Aryan laughed out loud, which surprised even the rickshaw puller next to him. If you don't agree, I'll take you away. Aryan Chowdhury gets what he wants. He threw me out of the station. I'll take him out of the country. A fire of crazy love and stubbornness was burning in Aryan's eyes. He didn't know the girl's name. He didn't know her identity, but he knew that even if this girl's pride was as high as the sky today, tomorrow she would be in Aryan's arms. At that very moment, Raisa came out of the station. Her convoy had arrived. Aryan watched from behind. Before getting into the car, Raisa looked one last time at the place where Aryan was lying. Seeing no one, she smiled contemptuously and got into the car. Little did she know that the person she had thrown water on was actually 1,000 times richer than her father, and now he was in the hunter's sights. It was exactly 2 days after the incident. It was almost 1 in the morning. Raisa's BMW was speeding along Dhaka's prestigious Gulshan Avenue. Today was a friend's birthday party, and she was a little late returning. Raisa was alone in the car, with the driver in the front and her trusted bodyguard in the next seat. 3 more guards were in the car behind. Suddenly, the driver saw a shadow figure in the middle of the road and slammed on the brakes. The wheels of the car came to a screeching halt on the muddy road. Raisa got annoyed and scolded, "What happened? Why did you stop the car?" The driver said, startled, "Ma'am, there's a man standing in front. He's not moving." In the light of the headlights, it was clear that the man was none other than Aryan, dressed as a fakir. He was still wearing the same dirty clothes, but there was no stiffness in his stance today. He was holding a bunch of red roses in his hand. Raisa recognized him and burst into anger. She didn't get out of the car, but instead rolled down the window and shouted, "You're not brave. You came and stood in front of my car? Didn't you learn a lesson from being pushed in the neck that day?" Aryan slowly approached the car window without saying a word. The bodyguards were about to take out their pistols, but for some reason, they stopped when they looked into Aryan's eyes. Aryan approached the window and held out the roses to Raisa and said, "Raisa, I love you. The man behind my fakir disguise will treat you like a queen. Will you marry me?" Raisa was shocked at first, then burst into laughter. "Married? With you? Have you gone crazy? Where are the street beggars from? What are your qualifications? The price of my shoes is more than your entire life's earnings. Get out of the way or I'll run you over." Aryan smiled. That smile was terribly calm. He threw the roses on the road and said, "I proposed politely, but you don't want to lift ghee with a straight finger. Okay, then it will have to be a crooked finger." Aryan took out a remote from his pocket and pressed the button. Within moments, a group of commando-style men dressed in black emerged from both sides of the road. They all had modern gas guns in their hands. Before they knew it, they were throwing tear gas and sleeping gas. The surroundings were covered in smoke. Raisa's bodyguards fell unconscious. Raisa tried to get out of the car, but her head was spinning. She saw Aryan coming forward from the smoke. This time, there was no plea in his eyes. There was the ferocity of a hunting tiger. Raisa was staggering, and Aryan picked her up by the scruff of her neck. Raisa said in a muffled voice before she went limp, "Who are you?" Aryan whispered in her ear, "Your future husband." When Raisa opened her eyes, she was not on a dirty street. She was lying on a huge royal couch. A huge chandelier hung from the ceiling of the room, and the curtains on the windows were velvet. She sat up with a thud. As she looked out the window, her eyes widened. The Thames River was flowing below, and the London Eye was visible in the distance. This is London. What am I doing here?" Raisa muttered to herself. Just then, the door to the room opened and a handsome man entered. He was wearing a black Italian suit, an expensive Rolex watch in his hand, and shiny shoes on his feet. His hair was neatly combed with gel. Raisa looked closely and was surprised. This face was familiar to her, but this royal appearance was unfamiliar to her. "How's my city?" Aryan smiled, his hands in his pockets. You're that beggar?" Raisa's voice trembled. Aryan came forward and sat on the sofa. Don't beggar, Raisa. I am Aryan Chowdhury, the sole owner of the Chowdhury Group in London. I went to Bangladesh for a few days, but when I went there, the most expensive thing I noticed was you. And whatever I like, I buy or steal. Raisa couldn't believe it. She screamed, "Let me go! You kidnapped me! I'll tell the police!" Aryan said with a laugh. Police? Half of the administration in this London follows my word. And I didn't kidnap you. I brought my future wife on my honeymoon. Get ready. The judge is waiting downstairs. I hate you. I will not marry you if I die. Raisa began to cry. Her pride had now turned into fear. Aryan stood up and came very close to Raisa. Grabbing Raisa's chin, he turned his face towards him and said, I like your hatred. I've been planning so much to break that pride of yours. Now you can't refuse even if you want to, because 50% of your father's business is now in my hands. With one phone call, your family will be on the streets. Now tell me, will you marry me or will you put your father on the streets? Raisa was stunned. She realized that she was trapped in a tiger's cage. This man was no ordinary lover, a terrible psycho who could destroy everything for love. After an hour, the wedding is being held in the grand hall of a London palace. Raisa is forced to wear a red Banarasi. Tears are streaming down her face. Sitting in front of the Qazi, she looks at Aryan. Aryan is smiling a victorious smile. Say yes, Raisa, Aryan ordered softly. Raisa said with a trembling voice, despite her reluctance, I agree. Aryan took Raisa's hand in his own. Today, Aryan put a diamond ring worth crores on the same hand with which Raisa had insulted him at the metro station. Aryan whispered in Raisa's ear, Game over, my queen. From now on, all your pride is only for me. In the twilight of London, Aryan stood on the large balcony holding Raisa. Raisa realized that her life was now in the hands of this stubborn and crazy lover. Their new life began with a strange mixture of love and hate. In the shadows, the truth always waits. You just have to be brave enough to see it. This is Whisper Dark. Stay aware, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next story.